tensions are rising following a United States airstrike in the region of Galmudug. The U.S.-Africa Command has defended the attack, saying it was in self-defense against a group of Al-Shabaab militants. But Galmudug authorities say its rivals in Puntland misinformed the U.S., resulting in the bombing of local soldiers. Al-Shabaab has also denied that it had any fighters in the area this week. The strike took place on the 26th of September at Kaba, near the port city of Kismayo. At least 22 soldiers were killed. It was called in after Somali troops came under fire from alleged militants. The rival neighboring region of Puntland had requested this strike on the pretext that the men were members of Al-Shabaab. Galmudug and Puntland have often clashed over territory.
The US has described the assault as self-defense, saying Al-Shabaab fighters attacked a group of Somali army forces and US advisors on the ground. The group returned fire, and then, because of the persistence of the exchange, they say they decided to authorize an airstrike. Officials haven't specified how exactly this strike was carried out, but the US has made use of armed drones in this region before. A Somali news source, Garaway Online, is reporting that reliable sources have confirmed that several high-ranking Al-Shabaab commanders were also captured. The editor of the Long War Journal, terrorism expert Bill Roggio, has criticized the way the US Africa Command is describing this attack. He says, quote, calling the Somali raid a counter-terrorism operation and the accompanying US airstrike a self-defense strike is a weak attempt to mask the fact that Somalia is at war with an entrenched enemy, and the US military is actively fighting in that war. In response, US Africa Command says that it stands by its statement and has nothing further to add.
Rebel forces in South Sudan say government troops attacked their garrison in a town in the north on Tuesday. The rebel group has also threatened swift retaliation, leading to fears of another full-blown military confrontation in the young nation. Political rivalry between South Sudan's President Salva Kiir and former Vice President Riek Machar sparked a civil war in 2013. Although both signed a shaky peace deal a year ago, fighting has continued and Machar fled the country in July. Kiir's government on Tuesday asked Sudan and other states in the region not to let Machar launch a new rebellion. Machar has threatened a return to the battlefield unless his demands needed to revive a peace deal were met.
Is investigating a fire at its Bunting Road campus. This as pockets of protest continued. Parts of the hall, including a projector, are believed to have been damaged.
We're not sure whether it's an electrical fire or if it was in fact an arson attack, but we will be informing the media and keeping them updated with whatever's happening.
Some academics at the institution have pledged support for the students.
We understand and accept that their aspirations and their demands are fair and just, calling for a free quality education.
WITS is expected to announce the outcome of its referendum on Friday. Students are to march to the Treasury, calling for intervention in their quest for free education. Outside the Durban Magistrates Court, a show of solidarity. 2 Durban University of Technology students were remanded in custody. They were arrested after violent clashes with police earlier this week. The case has been postponed to the 6th of October for further investigation. Lectures at the DUT remain suspended until Tuesday. 11 Rhodes students also appeared in court. They were released but will be back tomorrow as proceedings were not concluded. Students in PE delivered a memorandum to the Herald, accusing the newspaper of being biased in its coverage of the Fees Must Fall movement.
Herald seeks to portray us as a group, a small group. They even make the figures of 100 and something, number one, and also a group that is violent. We are saying to the Herald that don't derail a genuine student campaign. Don't make us appear as something that we are not. At NNMU, we have not even broken a single class.
The Herald says it will investigate the claims, but will continue to report without fear or favour.
Hello, I'm Damian Mitchell. There were dramatic scenes in Mandeville, Manchester on Tuesday morning as a police constable with a rope around his neck threatened to jump from a building on which he had climbed. He was eventually persuaded to get down with the help of a JPS bucket truck and was taken to hospital for assessment and counseling.
Meanwhile, residents out west continue to express concern about the ongoing crime problems. TVJ's Andrea Chisholm reports.
Police officers and the soldiers making the rounds on Paradise Row in downtown Montego Bay, going from house to house conducting searches. Though happy for the presence of the security forces, it's not enough to quell the fear of some residents.
People trying to leave work early enough so that they can reach home because taxi is hard to get and people need to go home. So people going home and they are trying to reach home as early as possible. Down to the baby afraid. The creeping baby is afraid to what is going on. And only God can help us in this situation.
In the meantime, a retired businessman is worried that crime in Montego Bay may delay various development projects which are already in the pipeline. He says Montego Bay needs recreational spaces such as theaters and the parks.
The problem I have deep down is that all of the extra expense that is taking place now in terms of putting in the security to try and alleviate the current crime wave is going to have an impact on the national budget and could very well delay the development of such things as the park.
He is therefore calling on business operators to play their part in the crime-fighting effort.
I believe that we need to improve the quality of life for the people in general. And to do this, we have to establish recreation facilities.